What's going on, everybody? My name's Trey Neal here with Trading Stocks, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video is going to be something that I believe is the best ROI you will get in your trading education, meaning it takes the shortest amount of time to learn that's going to give you the biggest results you're going to see quite immediately in your trading, and that is reading trend. It is so important to understand how to read trend, and in this video I'm going to teach you what that means, how you read trend, also how to identify trend changes, and then we're also going to jump into some real life chart examples pulled straight from today's live stream. So real-time analysis of trend changes, so you guys get to see some real life proof of that as well. Hopefully you're excited for it. If you are, hit the like button. If you're new around here, hit the red subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump over to beautiful Paint. I'm going to show you guys in Paint first just some perfect examples of trend change, so you guys have the basic concept, the basic understanding before I throw you into real charts. Therefore, you kind of know what I'm talking about when we get to that next stage of the video. Okay, so this part's not going to take very long. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to be using just straight lines here to show a chart movement instead of bars because I can't be bothered to go in and draw a bar for every single time. You'll still get the hang of it though. So let's just say you got a chart doing this right here. I'm just gonna draw the most simple representation right now. Now, you're going to look at this line and you're going to go, oh, thanks, Trey. That's an uptrend. Yeah, I didn't really need to know that. I knew that before I watched this video. Thank you very much. But the point of this video, yes, stocks that are going up are an uptrend. Stocks that are going down are in downtrend. Great. But it's not always that simple, right? Stocks aren't always in perfect uptrend or in perfect downtrend, very nice up and down. You know, there's a lot of sideways, a lot of different type of action that moves in stocks. It's never that easy. So in this instance, I want to teach you guys really on this basic, simple kind of concept here, saying the stock opened, say at $3 here, and it's currently up here at $4. So you got your price change, how to objectively read trend, right? So here, you're going to be having a stock coming up, down, up, down. What is this doing? So this right here is your current high. Just draw these lines parallel right here, and this right here is your current low, right? So you had your first move up, your first move down. That gives you your high, gives you your low. Not really signifying anything yet if this is the first initial move, say you're just out of open, or it's at 4 a.m. If you're trading pre-market, or 9:30 if you're trading opening bell. You're just out of market open. You get this up move, you get this down move. Really nothing is signified here yet. It's just noise until you get this higher high, meaning this high is higher than this high. Obviously, that is a higher high. And then you also get this higher low. Obviously, this low being higher than this previous low. So now, once you get those two things right there, once you get this higher high, higher low, now you have confirmed uptrend, and you're looking for that high to come up here and break again. You're looking for this next higher high, and you can start to look at the way I will look at whether it's a high or low or not, like whether it starts to curl. Like, well, when does it really start to curl? Because it's not always this obvious either in real life. I consider candle over candle, meaning you get one candle going higher than the candle directly to its left than the previous candle. You get that candle over candle. I start to look at that as the higher low. Same thing with the highs. You get candle under candle. I start to see that as the highs of the move, right? So there's your basic concept of that. Now I'm going to give you an example of trend change. So all of a sudden this thing does this, and now we're quite obviously once again downtrending. These are very basic examples. Now, how do you read downtrend? Hopefully you tell me you guys can just get this concept right away using the transitory process. Is that what it is? Middle school algebra. I'm not sure, but instead of higher highs and higher lows, now you are getting lower highs and lower lows, right? Meaning this high is lower than this high, this low lower than this low. So instead of higher highs on the way up, you get lower lows on the way down. So that is the basic understanding of how to read trend. I'm going to jump you guys over to another Paint chart that I already have drawn out, and I want you guys to take a look at this, and for a second just look at this chart. You can pause the video if you need to because I don't want to take too much time, but I want you guys to look at this chart right now and to identify where it's an uptrend, where it's in downtrend, where the trend changes occur, and that kind of stuff. I'll give you a couple seconds while I'm talking here. If you need to, please pause the video. Something like this is really going to help you guys understand this concept, not me just drawing it and showing you guys actually tackling a real life example. So if you haven't already, pause the video because I'm about to start answering the question now. So out of open here, you're in an extremely obvious uptrend, right? It's not that part wasn't really hard to, hopefully for you guys, it wasn't hard to identify. Very easy uptrend, right? I'm not going to sit here and insult your intelligence by explaining this all again. I just explained it. Obviously, it's a stock going up, blah, blah, blah. It's super easy. Now, this next part, where does it turn into downtrend? Where does it become downtrend? You got a lower low. This low is lower than this previous low. So right here, you have your lower low. But guess what? It is not yet in downtrend because you do not get the confirmation of the lower high, right? You get a lower low, but you still get a higher high. This high still comes above this previous high back here. If I go to my pencil tool, I can draw that real quick. This high is still higher than this previous high back here. So you have not confirmed downtrend yet. Now, where do you confirm downtrend? Hopefully you guys have been able to identify this as well. Right here is where you confirm downtrend. Right here is where you get your lower high. This high is lower. This high right here is lower than this high. You get your higher or your lower high and you get your lower low. You got to have both of those things to confirm trend change, right? So right here is where you get trend change. And then once again, where do we go into uptrend after this? You get a lower low, but you don't get that lower high, so this is still just noise. This is kind of an example to signify the noise in the markets, right? It's not always as easy. If it was just as easy as, oh, stock's going up, you long it, then the stock starts going down, you sell it, right? It's not always that easy. There's going to be a lot of noise in between too, so that's kind of what this example was meant to do. So you got a lower low, meaning this low came below this low, but you did not get a lower high. This high came above this high, so this is not yet in uptrend. This is not yet confirming uptrend because now you have this lower low. From this higher high, you do not get a higher low, so you are not yet in uptrend. Right here, all of a sudden, you get a higher high and higher low. You don't confirm uptrend until here. This is the confirmation of uptrend where you get your higher high, you finally get a peak above this peak and a valley above this valley, if that's an easier way for you to look at it. This is where the stock confirms uptrend. So really, what's the point of this? It's a lot easier to make money longing stock than are an uptrend. Trend is more likely to continue than it is to not. Does that mean stock that are uptrending always uptrend? Stock that are always downtrending always downtrend? Hell no. Obviously not. Stocks go up, stocks come down, stocks move all around. We all know this. But it's easier to make money on stocks, longing stocks that are in uptrend because the trend is more likely to continue than not. So could you have made more money buying this stock here instead of buying it up here? Of course. But you would have a much lower win rate if you're buying a stock that's still in downtrend. I personally would rather pay more money for a stock to buy it when it confirms uptrend rather than taking stabs at lows and hoping that the trend changes. That's just the way I look at it. So now I'm going to jump into a couple of real chart examples. Hopefully you guys got a good enough idea from these silly little paint drawings that I did in this little self example you guys got to go over. I hope a lot of you guys got this correct before I even had a chance to go over it. But let's jump into the real life examples. If you guys have any questions about what I drew or any questions about trend at all throughout this video, throw them in the comments. I'll try to help you guys out down there. All right, I'll throw you into the next part. I've been talking about Baba for a while. Look, it's a really bad swing trade setup. Why? We've been talking about trend a lot this morning. Baba is not a great swing trade setup at all. Meaning, if you're gonna plan to buy and make some money over the next couple of weeks, I would not be buying a stock that's downtrending this hard, right? Look, I mean, as the examples we've been talking about, you've getting lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You just made another lower high, like starting to roll back over towards this lower low again. It's a very, very downtrending stock. Like, it does not look good for a short-term swing. Hey y'all, this is Editing Trey here. I just want to take a second to explain in that clip that I'm not saying Baba isn't going to go up from here, right? Remember, stocks are never in downtrend forever. What I'm saying is just wait for trend confirmation before you look for your entrance, right? I just wanted to make that clear. Didn't want to make it sound like in this video that I don't think Baba is capable of bouncing down here.
What?
I will never say definitive things about
stock.
stock prices like that.
You see how
in my
much
video.
different? Look
So I just
at
wanted to
how
clear that up.
different. Look at how different this looks from the Baba chart that I just showed you, right? So Baba, let's go take a real life example here once again for a second. Baba, the downtrending stock. Every spike gets sold into. Spike sold, spike sold, spike sold, spike sold. It's very, very hard to make money on a downtrending stock because it's weak and all these bag holders are looking to take their profits. Where unlike Cardano, ADA, the crypto chart over here, look, this is a very strong uptrending chart, right? This thing has been making higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, big higher high. It actually downtrended for a little bit here. Where's your trend reversal in here? This is the daily chart. So you went from uptrend to downtrend right here, right where you made this lower high. It double bottomed. It actually double bottomed and went to higher highs, but then it failed and made a lower low. So you confirmed downtrend here. Confirm downtrend again with another lower high. I always mix those up. Lower high and lower low. And then here, look, you got your higher high. You got your higher high when you broke this. And then you sure as hell made a higher low, way higher than the previous low. So now you are buying dips. See, all of a sudden now you're buying dips. Once again, micro weakness into macro strength, right? This thing has macro strength. It is uptrending on the daily chart. And you're buying small weakness inside of a strong chart instead of buying like everybody wants to buy the rips on Alibaba. In our community accounts, you guys voted for buying Baba in the community account that we run. You guys voted for buying this stock at 171. So even though I try to teach this on my stream, you guys still fell into the trap. Everybody wants to buy the rip on a downtrending stock. This scroll left on your charts and think about what you're really doing when you do that, right? I mean, you're buying micro strength into macro weakness. Like the stock is weak and you want to buy strength into weakness. Like it just doesn't make sense. But here, to buy weakness into strength, I really think that's gonna work out much better for you, right? Buying weakness into the trend. That's why it's so important to learn how to read trend. I always say that learning to read trend is the best ROI for your studying that you can make. Because if you learn to read trend, you're going to be a much better trader. You're going to stop buying these downtrending stocks, start putting your money into strength, into uptrending stocks, and it only takes you like an hour or two. Watch a couple videos, look at some live charts for yourself. You can pretty much master reading trend. It's not that hard, and once again, it'll change your trading bigly. It'll make your trading much better. Back, yep. This one is still, well, now, in my opinion, is not as good. I talked about this pullback. And this pullback. Now what? Now you have just made a lower high, lower low, right? Now it's no longer buying. You're not buying weakness into macro, right? My kind of whole philosophy is to buy micro weakness into macro strength. So I look for an uptrending stock to buy dips on. That's why I talked about it here and here. We talked about these dips. Unfortunately, once again, I didn't take the trade because I thought the volume was too light. Only trading like 15, 12, 11,000 shares back here. I wasn't going to take this trade to inconsistent volume, but now this dip is different. And why is it different? We talk about this all the time. Trend, it just made a lower high and it just made a lower low, meaning you curled up, you did not break this high, and then you went and broke this low. So now I'm not saying that this dip can't also bounce. Sure, it can, but now you're buying a downtrending stock, and so you're not buying micro weakness into macro strength anymore. You are now buying a downtrending stock. Which, once again, I'm not saying won't work. I'm not saying this thing isn't going to go to $9. I'm sure it could, but just know you are now buying a downtrending stock, and trend is your friend, right? I want to say this is a nice uptrending stock, but that's just super obvious. I mean, no shit, Trey's an uptrending stock. It's grinding up. It's not really like a great uptrend example because sometimes it's just easy, right? Sometimes you don't need to think too hard about it. Sometimes you just go, oh yeah, look, hey Trey, stock go up trending. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. You don't need to overcomplicate it all the time, right? Like this just is you could come in here like you could come in here and go, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. But guess what? It's grinding upwards, riding the 90 MA. Of course, it's uptrending. You don't have to overthink everything, right?